I'll give myself a gold star in this way. When before the season started, when I projected all the SEC schedules and the records, I picked Alabama to go 11-1, and I did not necessarily pick Tennessee to beat them, but I gave a list of teams in order that would be most likely to pin that loss on Alabama, and I put Tennessee number 1,
Oh,
Arkansas number 2 is the most likely to beat Alabama. So in a sense, I picked it in the offseason, but that's what I'll give myself on that. And Kentucky fits the narrative of we see a lot of teams that are having a magical season get tripped up, and it's not always the most obvious team to beat them, Georgia, Alabama, and it's obviously not going to be Vandy. So it's usually many times, I shouldn't say usually, many times it's the third or fourth best team on their schedule.
I actually feel like the game that scares me the most outside of Georgia, obviously,
South Carolina.
South Carolina. It is. It's at South Carolina. It's probably gonna be a night game. It's a good environment. As much as I don't love giving credit to South Carolina on much, it is. It's a good environment. And Shane Beamer, I think he doesn't maximize the roster that he has. But hey, you're beating Texas A&M. You beat Kentucky without Will Levis. They were handicapped. Kentucky probably wins that game with Will Levis, but I think he does a competent job. But I think the real difference maker there is that it's at South Carolina and it's after you play Georgia, then Missouri. Thankfully, Missouri in Neyland Stadium. I think that's another spot, especially if you beat Georgia and you have that emotional high. I could see that next game being weird, and it's Missouri in Neyland Stadium, thankfully. But then if you get through all of that and you get to South Carolina, that one is iffy to me. And I think just the play styles match up better than Tennessee and Kentucky do. Again, I think Beamer, his offense could be better. He still is kind of hanging on to that pro style, leaning on a tight end kind of offense, and more power to him. I mean, obviously he's 5-2 or whatever it is, but that one concerns me where it just feels like, oh, that's a trap. That's a trap right there. This one does not feel that way to me. I think it could. And Tennessee this season is showing that they're not super susceptible to that. But Neyland crowd behind you in this one. It's going to be a blackout game. They haven't officially announced that yet, I don't think. But it's going to be, I think, black uniforms, Halloween weekend. Crowd's going to be raucous. Plenty of time to get liquored up before 7 p.m. And so I just think Kentucky's going to be overwhelmed in this one. And if especially if you get down in that game, a real key for Tennessee in this one is if they can jump out to 14-point lead, get the crowd really going, bearing down on Kentucky. That's a serious, serious problem for Kentucky in this one because I said it earlier, they're not built to come from behind. That's just not the ball they play. And that is the ball that Tennessee plays if they can bury you. And it might be different if this game was in Lexington, but it's not. So that's my feeling. And maybe I am seeing it through orange-colored glasses, but we'll see on Saturday, I guess.
Tennessee about a 12-point favorite. Kentucky, Tennessee get together at Neyland Stadium. Longtime SEC rivals. Charlie Burris, get on over there to Big Orange Podcast. When do you usually upload that for everyone?
That is Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We live stream, and then obviously it goes straight to YouTube after that. And then on game days, I do halftime post-game show with former Vols quarterback Jonathan Crompton, he was the last quarterback to come as close as anyone has to beating Alabama. He was the quarterback in 2009 when Tennessee had a field goal to win, and it got blocked. But I do that show with him, halftime, post-game, and we'll be doing it for the Kentucky game. And that's where you can find me.
All right, Charlie. Enjoy the game. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Mark.